What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Eli the Rebel. Welcome back to the NCAA Coaching Carousel Dynasty here on the channel. Welcome to Cristobal's final season with the USF Bulls before he takes on a new venture, a new program. Yes, this is the first episode of the final season with South Florida. We're going to be doing a double header today. So first we have a tune-up game at Southern Miss in Mississippi. We're a B overall school now with A- offense but with C defense. Southern Miss is a B overall as well, but they have a B+ offense and a C defense. So hopefully the key today for this game is to make sure the offense gets going early, so we don't have to worry about Southern Miss trying to come back on us. And then the second game of the doubleheader today, of course, is the Oklahoma is now going to Tampa now. Last season we were in Norman, had a very close game, so seeing Oklahoma again, but this time in Tampa, should be a fun one. That's going to be the main event of today. So without further ado, I'm gonna just jump right into the Southern Miss game. It's a little tune-up before the big showdown with number 5 Oklahoma. Although we are unranked, it does say that we are number 26 in the nation, as one or more players have committed NCAA infractions. So we're going to take a look at that before we get into this game. Clint Cook. What did Clint Cook do? Cook's teachers are concerned that he's always tardy to class. This is a habit that needs to be corrected ASAP. We don't want him to think he can get away with this. Okay? And then who's the other player? Elgin Watkins? No! Man, this is our starting tight end too. Oh man, what did he do? We've just been informed that Watkins' GPA is dangerously close to dropping below the NCAA minimum requirement. We cannot let that happen. Let's give him some time off the football field so he can concentrate on school. So, Clint Cook, I can suspend him longer because we have 3 setters on our program. Joe Wynn, Ryan Bridges, who's the senior, and then this guy, Clint Cook. So, I can redshirt Cook more, so we'll do like an extra, we'll do +2 games with him, so he'll be a total of 4. And then Elgin Watkins, he can be suspended for 3, which means that he should be back for when we play UCF, which would be the next episode. So unfortunately today, no Elgin Watkins this episode, but you will see him play in the next episode. What it do, YouTube? It's Postcom Eli. As promised, this is going to be a double header, so you are going to see this game and the Oklahoma game, as we do get ball at half to start this one, man. And without further ado, let's just go right into the major parts of the game. So the first drive of the game, the Southern Miss drives all the way to the 5. They have to kick a field goal on 4th and goal. However, USF blocks said field goal. It's the freshman Clay Daniels, freshman middle linebacker, coming in and making an impact already. His first game in college football. 1:35 left in the first quarter. Peterson stays in the pocket, is looking for Brent Reynolds. However, he is picked off, but there is a flag on the play. It depends what the call is going to be. It's not roughing the passer. It is holding on Joe Wynn. So obviously Southern Miss will decline that and get the ball back. Fortunately for USF, Southern Miss only gets to a 3 and out with that said possession. So Peterson hands the ball off to Malcolm Brown, aka Marcus McCall, and after 1 quarter, the score is only going to be 0-0. In the second quarter, with 4:45 left in the first half, Southern Miss will get first blood and throw a strike over to Patrick for the first points of the game. So with that and an extra point, Southern Miss goes up 7-0. Crystal Ball was feeling a little frisky here. 4th and 4 with 3 minutes left. Peterson tries to scramble to the left, but the corner comes down and hits him pretty hard, and that's going to be a turnover on downs right there. It's 3rd and 15 with a little over 2 minutes left in this half, and Garrett Knackfor is there on the INT, and that will give USF 2 minutes to drive down the field and try to score before the half ends. And this is the full drive, which is essentially a 2-minute drill. So first play of the drive was a bubble screen to Tommy Levine. Then Albert Peterson scrambles to his right side, finds Joe Beard in an island all by himself. He was even calling for that ball too. That will move the chains right there. Then a counter play to Marcus McCall. He gets a decent gain out of that, a gain of 6 right there, which will force Peterson to throw some play action. Finds Brent Reynolds, aka Chris Conley, over the top. Now they are in the red zone. First play in the red zone, less than a minute to go. Another play action. This time it's Albert Peterson getting forward with his legs. He'll run out of bounds to stop the clock at 53. Then in the gun, tries to throw a screen pass to Boyd, but Boyd drops it. He's not so happy about that, but with that coverage, he probably would have gained only 2 yards the most, to be honest with you. Peterson scrambles left on 3rd down, tries to find Boyd, but couldn't get it, so it's now a 7-3 lead for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. But then a disaster, a terrible disaster happened. I always mix up who, is the better kickoff returner, what side he's on. And the better kick returner always stands on the right, but their left. And as a result of that blunder, their kick returner 1 takes one back to the house. It's now 14-3 going into the half instead of 7-3. In the third quarter, it's a 2nd and 10. It's going to be a slam with McCall. However, he fumbles the ball past the first down marker, and Southern Miss recovers it. So that's how the first drive ended. But the following possession, ball's on the 44-yard line. It's the 1st and 10. Scrambling to the left, but throws a pick to the freshman outside linebacker, Will Charles. He breaks a tackle, and that is a pick 6. So the first real touchdown for South Florida, for your USF Bulls, is going to be a defensive touchdown by the freshman, Will Charles. Freshman right outside linebacker. However, in classic Eli fashion, on the following kickoff, do I even need to explain this one? Same dude again, runs it back for a kickoff return touchdown. It's 2nd and 6, ball on the 14-yard line with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. And throwing to the flat. This is why I'd never throw to the flat in this game, because if you're not careful, people will just start lurking and creeping right there. And that's Brent Sutton, who we just moved over from wide receiver to corner, showing off his wide receiver hands. But despite starting the drive in the red zone, USF could only come up with 3 points. So now USF is down 13-21 in this game. We finally see another offensive touchdown. Again, it's Patrick again. That's his 2nd receiving touchdown of this game. And once again, the cannons fire off. So now it's a 28-13 lead for Southern Miss. After a great kickoff return from Jamie Whitlock, Albert Peterson is running the option weak from the 9, and he's going to take it in himself as Jake Jackson, one of their corners, gets hurt on the said play. However, this will now make the score 20-28. So USF only down for 8 points. But wait a second here. It looks like as if Crystal Ball is trying to come up with a 2-point conversion play just to get it to 21. And it looks like they're in the I formation here. And Peterson is in the pocket, stays in the pocket, tries to force it into Boyd, but it was picked off in the end zone. However, the USF defense comes back with an INT on their own. Look at Tom Moan, 6'4", climbing the ladder. You're not going to see size on corners like that these days. You're not going to see a vertical like that anytime soon either. Tom Moan, first of hopefully many INTs as DB number 2. So 3 quarters are in the books. It is now a 19-28 deficit. And this is how your 4th quarter begins. So after running a draw play the play before and running the clock out to go into the 4th quarter, ball's on the 6-yard line, right hash. Peterson is pressured from that left side and just throws a fade into the back, a pylon for Brent Reynolds. That's a touchdown right there. So now it's going to be a 26-28 deficit USF has to overcome. It's 2nd and 14, ball on the 32-yard line. This is the possession after the Brent Reynolds touchdown. Look who it is again. Patrick. That's his 3rd receiving touchdown on the day. This man is unguardable, unstoppable, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, fire the cannons, baby. Wow. Unbelievable performance. 4 catches, 148 yards with 3 touchdowns. Southern Miss still holds on to their lead. Now, I want to talk about this sequence right here. This is my favorite sequence. So it's a 3rd and inches play, but I decide to run a pass play here as I throw the fade to Beard. It is completed, but it's now a 4th down. So I ended up no huddling, calling the exact same play. Because I'm really using this play to open up a lane for Albert Peterson to cross this 1st down marker, actually. I do not intend to throw this ball at all, but when you give Joe Beard that kind of space, you have no choice but to give him the ball and score. I mean, it's only right. It's only right. So, South Florida, Crystal Ball, and the boys are still hanging on, still in this ball game with that 4th down conversion. I don't know what's up with Crystal Ball and his guys completing 4th downs and turning them into touchdowns, but hey, we'll take it. 35-33. After a quick 3-and-out from Southern Miss, USF drives down into the red zone, killing 3 minutes off the clock, but he gets hit late, and it's a pick. No flags on the play. So Southern Miss will start from pretty much the 20-yard line here. Honestly, man, like I thought I had a clean pocket, was going to go to Beard into the end zone again, but I got hit late. So another Southern Miss 3-and-out right after the turnover, which gives Albert Peterson and the offense a little more than 2 minutes to go. First play of the drive, just throws the wheel route to Joe Beard, and Joe Beard hangs on to this ball, move the chains, and then some. You look at Albert Peterson, he has thrown for over 350 yards up to this point in this game. Second play of the drive, after the Beard wheel route, Peterson looking for Beard again, but there's a flag on the play. Initially, I thought it was going to be pass interference, but it turns out to be a roughing the passer. So we just actually entered the red zone after that penalty. And then after 2 mediocre run plays and a sack, Cristobal only has to settle for 3, but it gives USF the lead. So with 1:25 left, we'll see if Southern Miss can, put a drive together and retaliate of some sort and get their lead, what they've had pretty much this whole game for the most part. And it's 2nd and goal with less than 30 seconds left in the game. It's the guy with 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown that waltzes into the end zone here. That may or may not win the game. But hold on a second. They're going to go for 2 to make it 43-36. The 2-point conversion always starts from the 3-yard line. That's the same spot where the extra points are snapped from. They run a draw play with the same guy, but the conversion has failed, which means that a touchdown, which is equivalent to 6 points, will give USF the lead. And Albert Peterson, first play of the drive, throws it deep to Bryant Reynolds, aka Chris Conley. I can't believe Albert Peterson overthrew a 6'3" wide receiver, but you know what? That's just how the game's gonna end, man. So, starting off the season 0-1 is not pretty, especially when week 2 is against Oklahoma. These are the individual stats for both teams in this game. You can pause if needed as always, and I'll see you guys when we play Oklahoma. So here we go. Oklahoma, the Sooners are coming to Tampa, as last season we were in Norman for this one. They lost the toss, so we end up getting ball at half, of course, since this is, we're not favored to win this game, so any advantage helps, honestly. And then this game I did a lot better job kicking to the other side, away from the kick returner number 1. And you want to talk about coming out the gate, guns blazing and whatnot. The same guy that we kicked the ball off to catches the ball, breaks a tackle, scores the first touchdown in the game, all in one play. They have a different quarterback this season. Last season's quarterback must have been like a senior or something. And I was afraid that guy would come back and stomp on us again. But they have a new quarterback, and 87 made him look pretty good there on that play, not gonna lie. So with 4:40 left in the first quarter, we decided to kick a field goal here, and this is really funny. It hit the crossbar and goes right in. So we got some points back with that kick. Very interesting kick indeed. So it's a 3rd and 8, and this new quarterback throw it over Teston Jamie, and he picks this ball off. That's the first turnover of this game. I bashed Jamie a little bit too much from time to time, especially when we played Washington last season. But he's doing his thing right now against Oklahoma. We love to see that. With 2 minutes gone in the second quarter, Peterson in split backs, scrambles right, is trying to get out of bounds here, but the animation says, no, let's just push Albert Peterson into the end zone for a touchdown, and just like that, USF is up 10-7 now against number 5 Oklahoma. Yes, Oklahoma is number 5 ranked going into this game. But we see this mistake time and time again. Whenever you will kick off in the middle and it goes to kick returner 1, bad things happen, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Finnerty was like their slot receiver last season as well, but is now their kick returner 1, maybe their X receiver, and he just waltzes into the end zone, no problem. So it's now 14-10. It's a 3rd and long here, ball on the 25, so Albert Peterson has to try to take a shot here. Throws it up to Pittman, double coverage, gets tipped around, and looks like the free safety comes up with this one. Takes it back for a decent return as well. And as you can see here, Joe Beard has injured his shoulder on said play. You hate to see that as well. Fortunately for USF, they have forced Oklahoma into a 3-and-out. However, for some reason, they're not kicking the field goal. They're going for it on 4th. The pressure got to the best of this new quarterback here, so it's now a turnover on downs all of a sudden. But the following possession, USF turns the ball over on their own as well. McCall fumbles the ball, and the defense recovers here. It's Webb, the right end from last season, who gave Peterson some nightmares. Oklahoma trying to convert another 4th down with 2:20 left in the first half. Ball's on the 28-yard line, but Babcock gets sacked. And just like that, that's another turnover on downs. Yeah, it looks like it was Eric Petway, too. Welcome back to the starting lineup, my guy. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Babcock throws to Tom Moan's side, but it's a flag, and the wide receiver's motioning, and he got the call for pass interference. I personally didn't see anything, so you guys let me know in the comments. Run that play back a couple times for me, see if that's true or not. A minute into the third quarter. Look at this ball. Look at that ball from Peterson to Boyd right there. That is just... the timing is everything, man. Because very rarely you'll see Albert Peterson sit in the pocket and just drop and fire. And that's exactly what he did. It's exactly what he did. And of course, you got to give props to Lionel Boyd for reeling that in. So that is now a 17-14 lead for Cristobal and the boys. It's 3rd and 2, but they're in a goal line formation, and this is why I hate lining up in goal line formation, because I always give up some random touchdown if I don't call the correct defense. I mean, it's just something in this game. Like I feel like if the CPU were to just call goal line formation every single play, I'd probably lose every game like 48-14 or 7. But alas, it's now a 21-17 game right now for the Sooners. However, on the following kickoff, they kick this one to Jamie, who is our kick returner 1. He goes to the outside, hugs the left sideline, gets the final block that he needs, and just gets into the end zone untouched, unbothered, no moves required. USF gets the lead back. It's a 1st and 10 from the 33. Babcock fires, and in double coverage finds 87 again. Mr. Wright. That's his second one, isn't it? I believe so. You can't make this stuff up, man. I swear. Sometimes this game is just something else. Less than 2 minutes in the third quarter. Peterson in the gun. Throws it deep. It's a Lionel Boyd one-on-one that he loses. And the corner comes down with this ball instead. So due to McCall's poor running performance in the first half, we give Ben Stewart some PT. He even makes a man miss right there, but loses the football in the process. OU picks up said fumble, and that's going to take us into the fourth quarter. It's a 3rd and very long from midfield. There were 2 incomplete passes before this play. Babcock tried to step into the pocket, gets hit, and they rule it a fumble. Garrett Knack-4 is there on the recovery. So this is going to give the South Florida Bulls a sign of life here, and maybe they can come back from all of this. However, after 2 3 and outs, USF does drive down to all the way to the 9-yard line before being stalled out, which means they will only take 3 points to bring the deficit down to 1. So here we go. Less than 2 minutes to go in the fourth. This is where prime time happens right here. Albert Peterson scrambling right to start this drive. Does not get the first, but gets a very good gain out of it. Gain of 9 to be exact. It's a 2nd and 1. Minute 20 left in this game. Peterson scrambles left. Finds Carlos Pittman on a corner route. And he comes down with it. But there's a flag on the play. And they're calling roughing the passer. So add 15 yards on top of that reception, please. Thank you very much. USF is now in the red zone. 2nd and 1 with less than a minute to go. We still got Ben Stewart in this game. Unfortunately, he fumbles the ball again. And this is where, I realized I messed up here. So I was hitting timeout here, thinking I had 3 timeouts left. But apparently what happened was that you guys didn't see it, but I used a timeout simply because I was AFK and I got back to the offense, and with 10 seconds left, I was like, I'm not going to lose field position. I'm going to call a timeout. And I completely forgot about that. So what happens here, I go check, and I don't have any green dots underneath the USF logo, which means in order for me to win this game, I have to return this punt with Jamie Whitlock, which is really, really sad. Which means that, like, it was still 28-27. So all I really needed to do, if I had, that third timeout, I would have like 30-something ticks left, and I would simply, drive down the field for a field goal. Not even worry, not even think about touchdown. So with that blunder, Oklahoma wins again. Marcus McCall had 2 chances to revenge the team that he transferred from and didn't get it done. Got benched in the first half. Could he have played in lieu of Ben Stewart? Maybe. It turns out that when I'm looking at these individual stats here, McCall actually did have better numbers than Ben Stewart. It just so happens that the only reason why I kept Ben Stewart around was simply because that he was just so much more efficient in halfback screens. And, when you do well in halfback screens, that's going to boost your, motivation faster than as opposed to just regular run plays. And so that's on me. We're going to start the season 0-2, man. Hopefully we win out, go 10-2, and have another 11-2 season like we did last season. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. But I'll see you guys next episode. It's going to be a doubleheader with UCF and Clemson. With that, it's been your boy Eli the Rebel. I'll catch you guys next week, man. Peace.